Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 10th through the 16th. And during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon. And that is a really good time for self-reflection, rebirth, a time to get rid of your bad habits and negative thinking and work towards achieving your goals and aspirations. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, of course, as always, please keep that in mind. Take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to work through your fears. All right, let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicities. This could be repeating numbers that you're seeing. It could be a song or a conversation that you overhear. You know, sometimes if you're walking somewhere and maybe there's people walking towards you and they're talking and you just hear like two or three words. And sometimes that is just the weirdest thing to me. It's like, oh, those are things I was actually thinking about whatever, even though their conversation has nothing to do with you. It's the strangest things, but it happens to me all the time. But anyway, pay attention to those type of things. Those are synchronistic ways that the universe speaks to you, drops you those little breadcrumbs to give you clarity and just kind of guide you on your unique path. So just my friendly reminder that if you're not open to paying attention to those, once you do start really focusing on paying attention to them, it just opens up a whole world that you can't unsee afterwards. So anyway, my friendly reminder for you. I will stop babbling now, Sagittarius. Let's get on with this reading. August 10th through the 16th, work through your fears. Okay, Sagittarius. Seven of Cups is the card that comes out for your present situation. So it looks like you're sitting in a place where you have lots of choices and things to make. Things or decisions to make about something. Many choices, many options, and you're just trying to decide. You know, when I see this card, I always think it just a little bit of confusion because of this cloud that's in there, you know, and sometimes you're making decisions and you know you're just like, what am I picking here? There's just a little bit of kind of a confusion that can happen sometimes. You know, sometimes I also think that having choice is kind of a luxury. You know, you are, as our lives get better through time, you have more and more choice as you've kind of narrowed things down. And I do see that as a luxury, you know, and I like think back to, you know, my college years when, you know, when there were limited choices just because of finances, you know, right? It's like you're just starting out, you don't have that much money. So your choices are limited to this apartment or this apartment, you know, and as you make more money or as your life goes along and things happen for you and you make better decisions, those choices start to get better, right? So choice can be a luxury, but it can also be confusion, which is really what I'm feeling here, is that you have so many choices there. They're swirling around and you're just trying to find that clarity, that moment where you're like, okay, let me just narrow it down. And you just want that smoke to clear and that choice to be obvious, but I don't think it, you know, maybe it will by the end of the reading, but for right now, it's really not. Your current situation is another seven. So right off the bat with 77 is feeling like you against the world. So not only do you have all these choices and whatever, but you're feeling like you're doing this alone. And maybe you are, maybe you're not, but that's your feeling. You're feeling like, oh, I have to make this choice by myself. You know, are there people around you that can help you make that choice? Maybe. You know, who are these people that you're against? Who are you feeling like it's you against the world? You know, this could represent a spouse or some parents or siblings or um you know, a lot of people in your life. So are you feeling like you're kind of butting up against them in that tension? Or, you know, do you need to maybe relax and let them, let's hear their information as well, which might lead you to a better decision. At the root of your situation is the Ace of Wands. So it's something that you're feeling super, sorry, my nose is very itchy this morning. Something that you're feeling very passionate about, whatever this is. You want to make the right decision, and you want to make the right decision because it's very important to you. So that's not a bad thing. In your recent past is the Page of Pentacles. So looks like you've recently had some sort of new path in the way of the material world. This could be like a new path in your job. Maybe you've changed positions. Maybe just something has changed there. There's been a change that's maybe causing you to have to make these decisions and kind of feeling like you're battling something or you against the world, and you're being very passionate about it. What is on your mind this week is the Hanged Man. So, a new perspective. And does this new perspective come from within, perhaps? Does it come from maybe listening to these people that you feel like you're battling against, perhaps? It's kind of the feeling I got, is that you're feeling like it's you against the world, but I get the feeling that that's you being a little bit dramatic, maybe about it, that maybe it's not really you against the world. Maybe you're just being a little bit stubborn and wanting to do your thing without taking everything else into account or taking other people's opinions into account. So just be open minded to that. I could be wrong, but that's the intuitive thing that's coming through for me. What is just ahead of you this week is the Queen of Cups. So I think you're going to get to the place where you're taking a breath. You're going to overcut. Look at all of these cups that are full of all of the different things. The Queen of Cups is not sitting in a cloud of confusion. I like to point out that her robe here, which I think is so cool, is white and blue, kind of like the clouds, the blanket that she sits on also. She's got her 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in abundance here of, like, what are these, like, colored pebbles or maybe even fruits at her foot. She's not in a cloud of confusion. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's doing it in that emotionally balanced way, right? Um, because she's the Queen of Cups. She's the queen of doing things in a practical yet a balanced manner. She's not making quick decisions. She's not flooded over by this. So I feel like you eventually are going to move to this, where it feels like right now that it's me against the world. I have to make this decision. Blah, 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 blah. Take a breath, change your perspective in whatever manner. Even if it's, if I feel like sometimes you make decisions, you feel like it's just the most permanent thing. Very few decisions that you make are that permanent. I mean, you have big decisions that are permanent, like marriage, having children, maybe buying a house, maybe. But a lot of decisions, they don't have to be that permanent. You can go work at a company over here, and if you don't like it, you can probably change and upgrade and go somewhere else. You can, so a lot of decisions that we make aren't that permanent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So know the difference between this is a permanent decision or this is something very temporary that I can balance and get through. And maybe, maybe you may have to make this decision now. You're trying to work through your fears about it, but it's not a permanent decision. It might be the best decision for now. And then maybe in a month from now, you get to change your mind and do something different, if that makes sense. In your advice position, we have the Six of Swords. So moving forward again in this very, very calm water towards new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of doing things, and you're just very calmly plowing along here. Does this decision have something to do with a child here? Very well could be. That child just popped out at me. I know he's there. I see him, but not always does it come through. This may be some sort of decision that has to do with parenthood. Um, so think about that and think about things again. These decisions are not, when it comes to making decisions about your kid, things are never really that permanent. You can try a thing, and if it doesn't work out, you just go a different direction. You can have that flexibility to do that. But if you're having a fear that, like, this is the thing, I have to make this decision, and it's just good, it's the rest of my, no, it doesn't have to be like that. What is beyond your control this week is the fact that you are definitely stable enough in the material realm to be able to make this decision, right? You've got some stability there. You might be even doing this because of your stability, the decisions that you're able to make. Again, not everybody has that. Not everybody has material stability where, things are kind of set with your job and maybe set with your housing situation and whatever. So you have that, and that's beyond your control. You've created that for yourself, and that's good. That's good that you have that stability, because it does expand the kind of choices that you're able to make, right? As we get better, the choices get a little bit more abundant, which is a luxury. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Knight of Wands, which is, I've seen this guy a lot in the readings this go around also. Um, Knight of Wands, and also I think it was the Seven of Swords are my two cards that I feel like have been out in a lot of the readings. But anyway, what is beyond this is your secret desire, what you're trying to avoid, and this is kind of taking passionate action and quick action. So is it your secret desire to take quick action, or are you trying to avoid taking quick action also because you're limited by trying to make this decision? But again, see, maybe it's again, I was talking about synchronicities at the beginning of the reading. There might be some synchronistic things out there that if you pay attention, it will change your perspective and it'll make this decision so much easier for you. So pay attention to that. In your outcome position, it's going to be fine. You're going to celebrate these choices. It's a hard decision. You are frustrated by it. You feel like it's you against the world. We also now have two fours. We had two fours. What did we else did we have? Two fours, two sevens. So look up 7 7, look up 44, and I think didn't we have another one? Yeah. Look up angel number 7 7 and look up angel number 44. See if those things mean anything as you're working through your fears with this week. Let's see what's hidden from you. The bottom of the deck, Sagittarius, is the Page of Cups. I'm laughing because I love that this is here, because what's hidden from you this week is just your ability to laugh and have a sense of humor and about all of it. I mean, and sometimes I know how sometimes you're in a situation just like, really, can this get any worse? And you do just kind of have to laugh about it. So, if that's happening for you and you're feeling that, make sure that you do introduce that sense of humor about it. Again, no, there are very few decisions in life that are completely permanent. You can do a temporary thing to get you by, as your perspective is changing until you get to a better, more permanent solution. And you can try things. That's the reason we're here. Let's try this thing, see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll move on and try something else. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck for Sagittarius. Make better choices. Okay, sorry. That to me are just the cards literally having a sense of humor. Like, really, we're literally talking about the difficulty right now in making choices, and you're saying make better choices. So, very funny. Very, very funny. Some days, I love tarot and also these spirit cards and oracle cards that come out, and sometimes they do have a sense of humor and you kind of have to giggle at them. So let's see what Sagittarius needs to do in the midst of all of this for self-care. What do you need to do to take care of yourself this week, Sagittarius? The card that comes out for you is Passion. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. So when you're making these decisions and you feel like it's you against the world, what is it? What are your deepest desires? What those are. Again, you're going to look around for that new perspective this week. Try to have your sense of humor, which is hidden from you, because you feel very passionately about whatever this is. But you've got the stability, you're moving forward with really thinking at things in a new way, and by the end of it, you're going to be celebrating, I believe, your decision that you do make. It's going to be okay, even if it's just for now. You may change your mind next week and make a different decision, and that's okay. Work through your fears and just get through the day, right? So, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time with me. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know, what were your fears that you were working through this week? Were you making choices about something? What was it? Did it have something to do with a child for some of you? I believe it did. And did you celebrate your new perspective at the end and everything's just going to be just fine in the end? So please let me know again if you're comfortable in the comments. I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new for you. Also, if you like my reading style, if you like and subscribe, it really helps push me up in the algorithm, and I would really appreciate that from you. And thank you so much if you do that. Also, most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Sagittarius. Good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.